Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. This time featuring the brand new American TD premium tank, which has just come out on Tuesday this week. And yeah, the Panserjager NM116, the World War II variant of the tank. I know there is one in Cold War as well, which is not something I play, but I'm aware it's in there. But yeah, this is the World War II variant, and my God, it is fantastic. It is a fantastic tank destroyer. If you like the Super Hellcat, the Tier 7, or tanks like that, then you will love this tank, because it is basically just like an improved version of the Super Hellcat. It's the best way to describe it, to be honest with you. It's got good mobility, not quite the same as, not as fast as a Super Hellcat, but still decent mobility, and it's got fantastic camo. I think with crew, with camo net and the crew skills I have on, I've got the camo, the concealed value down to 212, which is absolutely fantastic. It's got great standard APCR rounds with 262 pen, and then heat rounds with not great velocity, but it's heat. With 320 pen, so it is fantastic, and it's got a 280 alpha gun with the same reload as a Super Hellcat. You know, you've got like a sort of 5 seconds reload, under 5 seconds with your food activated, and yeah, you could just, if you get in a situation where you're just farming tanks, and you could just pick up so much damage in a quick period of time. And the camo, honestly, it's filthy. You can just be in bushes behind and just shooting people, sometimes like 200 meters, and not getting detected. It's absolutely crazy. And yes, for the games I've played in this tank so far, I've really enjoyed it. So the first replay we've got here, we are with Petty 360 on Dragon Ridge. Not a massive fan of this map, but for this spawn I've taken the sort of position around the right, hoping that I can get shots into the enemy are sort of pushing around in the sort of middle of the map, contesting our heavy tanks on my left. And I'm trying my best to try and take out the light tanks, because obviously they're going to be in danger of spotting me. But this heavy tanks came through the middle. Managed to get a couple of shots into him with the quick reload. And yeah, like I say, with the 280 alpha of this tank and that sort of 5 second reload, really it can put some serious work to the team, and especially on maps where you can abuse the camo and the mobility of this tank. It's just, I really enjoy it, and like that 262 penetration is like, it's good enough to to cope with most of the tier 10s. It's only really when you're going to come across those super heavies where you're going to need to swap your 320 heat pen. So it's more than capable of performing in a tier 10 gameplay. You can see here this Polish medium is heavy tank's been caught out, and we've got a few shots into here, and so far we've got sort of 3,000 damage, 600 assistance. We've got spotted there and caught out, which can be dangerous because the enemy sort of team TD's camping at the back. Before you know it, can take you out. But fortunately we get away with that one. And yeah, we're just looking for a few shots at the moment. We've got this shot in the Churchill. Now the enemy light tank has been destroyed, or the one which was contesting me over this side. It's a lot easier. We've got this Cromwell coming around behind us. We need to take this guy out, because otherwise they're gonna spot us. But we get one in there. You see I'm shooting here. I'm not technically behind a bush, and he's still not spotting me, which is when I'm firing my gun and moving a little bit. He is blind firing me, but I do manage to take him out, putting us onto just under 4,000 damage. We then got the atomic. We luckily just snapshot that one in, and yeah, that get another little cheeky kill. The only thing I would say about this tank is when you're firing on the move, it is not very accurate. It can miss a lot of shots when you're firing on the move, which isn't a massive big deal. It's just something to be aware of, because like I say, you are a tank destroyer at the end of the day, but you're a mobile tank destroyer with a turret, so I still play it in a lot of situations just like a stealthy medium, if you like. just sort of relocating to those different angles and just abusing that camo and the DPM to catch people off guard. And yeah, it's really nice. The mobility just helps you to adapt to more games, and you can sort of you can keep up with the damage, and it's fantastic. But this first game on Dragon Ridge is, it's almost coming to an end. We're going to get a shot into this Barras, and then just trying to work out where the rest of the damage is. I see the heavy tank sort of where Petty is located, and I'm thinking it's probably going to be destroyed before I get there. So I'm thinking I'm just going to force them where I know there is at least one tank, which is the other side of the map, because I know I was getting shot from there earlier. So I suspect, last known location, there's something there. And there is this Italian tank. He gets one into us, but we do get one into him. The Barras actually finishes him off, and I'm unable to secure that kill. So the only thing I've got left to do really is I'm going to try and chase this Fun Police, because we want to kill the Fun Police. It looks like it's on full health, so I'm going to rush there hoping that I'm able to get the kill, which would be really nice. And one thing I should say, this first game, I don't actually have any HE loaded. I have in my second game loaded the HE, because obviously with the 370 penetration of the HE, if you do fight lightly armoured tanks, you can really rack up damage so quickly. But obviously it's only got 45 penetration, so there would have to be like light tanks. But if you're shooting into a Waffle E100 a 5-second reload with 370 alpha, yeah, you can see how filthy that could be. So I have loaded 3 HE shells how I play it now. But that's it for the first replay. We get 5 kills, 5,000 damage, 4,000 assistance, so 5,400 damage, 1,000 assistance. We only get a first class, even though it is an over 2,047 base XP, which normally is an ace tanker, but because the tank's just come out, it isn't. But yeah, that's it for the first replay. I've got one more to come, so I will see you in a bit for the second replay. Okay, so here we are for the second replay on Arctic Region Encounter. Now, this second replay, we have to work a lot harder in this game to achieve anything. Unlike the last game where our team was pretty dominant, this is the complete opposite. So hopefully you'll enjoy this replay because of that, showing there we have a tight game, you actually have to work for it. So Arctic Region Encounter, we're top tier 1 Fun Police a piece, and I'm going to go up to this sort of location where hopefully sometimes you can climb. There's a little climb you can do, you can get a little bit of a, abuse that beautiful camo you've got, and just like to go in this location and see if we can get any shots. You can normally get a few shots as like when they try and spot the cross, etc. I'm just seeing if I can guess where that guy was crossing. And then unfortunately this Batchat light tank is played very aggressively, and kind of nulled by position. So I'm going to have to fall back, because it's not good to be sat there when you're lit. Because obviously you can just get shot, and it's very not an ideal situation to be in. So frustrating for me that light tank's done that, but it was good play by itself, because obviously it has been effective pushing me back. We tried to get a shot into the Barras, which has been spotted there, and now you've got this SCA-1, this VZ-44, which we've got potential shots in, say, poke. Unfortunately, we haven't managed to land any yet, and then this G-Saw comes up, and we quickly realise that this position is doomed. We've got to act quickly, just get out of there. If we delay, we're dead, because they've won that location, and I don't have any help. So I have to get out of that location as quickly as I possibly can. Thankfully, this does have the mobility to be able to do that. And now I'm just praying I don't get lit up on my exit, because unfortunately for me, most of my team have found it, just to sit in the base, which isn't really the best thing to do. You're not really taking any map control whatsoever, and it's not going to help our team. So I'm going to try and fall back, give up on that location, accept that it's lost, and try and get into an angle to shoot the enemy team as they leave that position, and sort of push towards us basically, because I need to get some damage in. We're like 3 tanks down now. So here we go, we pulled back to a position to try and get a few shots in. Unfortunately, our first shot we fired, we bounced off of that ISM. So what we do, we turn our tank around just so we can stay here, and if we do get lit, we can duck back down into cover as quickly as we can. We do get one into the ISM there. I'm going to try and get as many shots in as we can to try and take this guy. Unfortunately, that one goes into the tracks. We see that G-saw from earlier, so we get a little revenge shot into him, and then we're going to go back and try and get a few more shots into ISM if we can. We can go through the lower plate, with that 260 penetration of the standard APCR. We get one in the brass, but unfortunately we get lit in return. But that's why we turned around, is because we managed to full speed into cover. Yeah, we had to reverse out there. We probably would have had a shot. So that's why it's important just to always think of your exit plans, basically, to try and get out of there. The ISM's a one shot. We really want to take him out. We've got to make sure we get a shot into his Pantera as well, because we're up against it here. We've got no map control. The enemy have pushed us into the base because we didn't really push out and take that control at the start of the game. It's now going to make it harder for us. We load a heat shell because we need to get rid of this ISM. I don't want to bounce, and he was hold down to me. But yeah, unfortunately for him, I've got that 320 Alpha with a heat shell, so we take care of him and now swap back to the APCR, because we don't want that slow velocity. It's done its purpose, and now we're going to go back to the APCR rounds. And yeah, our team is sort of pulled it back a little bit. It's now 9 versus 12. We've got a little bit of damage, and we sort of cleared out this space a little bit, and now we spotted this VK 100p. We are going to swap to the heat shells for this guy because he has very good armour. I'm shooting over some distance here, so I'm going to lose penetration on that APCR round. And a bit of poor shoot aiming, I think, for the first shots, to be honest. I need to go for this lower plate, which I can pen. Finally, actually do hit it. Getting a bit of damage into him. We're going to try and get another one in, which we do. He's sort of fallen back now, or they've fallen back. We want to try and get as many shots to punish this guy as we can. We've put him down to sort of 622 hit points. I'd love to get another one in. Unfortunately, we don't quite manage that because it's now in a 7 versus 11. I really want to even the scores out as best I can. To make this guy, this last bit a little bit easier for me, because the problem I've got here is I'm detected, and I'm kind of scared it's the fun police, because I know I can get hit from the fun police here, and it is a problem. But the issue I've got is I'm getting pinned in, and it's like the only place I can sort of logically be, because I can't escape anywhere at the moment. I'm literally all exits are covered by the enemy team. So the only way I'm going to do this is fight my way out of trouble. It's now 5 versus 11, or 5 versus 10 now. We're 5 tanks down. This light tank is a 2-shot. He's got to go. We need to get rid of him because this is going to keep me lit permanently. And he's a 1-shot now, and then I've got a nice easy shot, and I fluff it. Which that was not a good shot to miss. I really need to take this guy out, so I want to make sure I hit this shot. Thankfully we do get rid of the light tank, but now, like I say, I'm expecting at any moment for the fun police to fire at me and take me out, but there's very little I can actually do about it, to be honest, apart from just try and move the best I can. I've got unlit here. We've then got a full health freedom approaching from the right, and yeah, so I can't push that way, so I'm looking to see where's the weak point. I'm checking the HE of the enemy tanks, and I can see that Panther and that VZ are the easiest kills at the moment. It's going to take me too long to get through that freedom, and we know there's a VK there as well, which will be covering him. So I'm just trying to find any sort of tanks we can kill. I take a chance of firing at that Panther on the move, but it doesn't hit a lot of shots on the move, this tank. Thankfully that VZ's now a 1-shot, that is going to help. But this Panther's exposing himself, and I'm going to take this opportunity to get a shot into the Panther while he's not paying attention to me. We get one in, we put him on a 1-shot, he's ammo racked as well, so we're going to try and finish this Panther off. The VZ's also up as well, we just noticed, so we're going to try and finish this guy off, and that has helped us a lot. We're now in a 2 versus 5, but the freedom's pushing us, and we know full well the fun police will be aiming at us, because I am the most logical person to shoot at, but I can't do anything about that at the moment. We're going to try and get a few shots into this Freedom. I think you go. If the Fun Police just missed us, thankfully. Now, I've got to go. I can't sit here. The Fun Police with the Freedom there, I'm going to die. Literally, I will die. So I've got to just try and make a dash for it and escape. It's my best bet, because the Freedom's not exactly quick, and thankfully we managed to get out there. The Freedom's not going to catch us up now. We've still got a bit of time on the clock, so I'm just going to completely leave that position so I can actually use what's good about my tank, the camo, and out spot people and with that DPM. Because if I catch a Freedom in the open, I'm going to farm him, or farm them. So it's the best thing to do. And in this sort of situation like this, I know I'm getting pinged here, but I'm just going to ignore the pins because I think I know what's best in this scenario. We see the hammer, so we're going to get one into the hammer. But yeah, I want to go and take care of that Fun Police because the enemy Fun Police will be under no pressure at the moment, and they can just keep throwing shots in while we're trying to deal with more numbers. So I've got to take the Fun Police out, because once I've taken that out, at least I don't have to worry about getting shot from the sky. And I think it's my best thing to do. I try to ignore the hammer now because I put the hammer on a one shot. I'm not concerned about the hammer anymore. I just know that I can kill him in one shot. Here's the Fun Police. He's just shot as well, which is great. We got lucky we set him on fire. We would have killed him anyway, but now his hammer's chased us, and we managed to take the hammer out, and we've turned it around into. Unfortunately, our friendly teammate got taken out, but it's a 1 versus 3 now, so it's very winnable, because now I've got a big map where I can kind of use the mobility and camo and out spot people. My theory here is I'm going to try and get to a position to cover the cap circle and hope the enemy team start to push into the cap circle towards the end, and then I can catch them out and then farm them, abusing the camo. But as we do that, we get lit, and it's this charioteer, and I've kind of just worked out that they are AFK. So I'm going to swap to the HE shells here because I can pen this tank with a HE, and you can see what work you can do. Look, rolled for 400 there with the HE shell. You can just put some serious damage in. I think, that penned all shots and taking that, the charioteer out. That's a nice boost there that we're taking out. 'Cause that was the most dangerous tank to me because it also has good camo and a really nasty gun. So now I've got two sort of heavy tanks, which it's the best thing for me to be fighting because hopefully I can outspot those tanks. So my plan is to get to sort of the original position where I was at the start of the game, and from there I can cover quite a lot of the map. And if anything comes towards the cap circle, I'm going to be able to catch them out in the open, get the shots in with little risk of return fire. Because at least the plan is to catch them out in the open. That's what I want to do. Catch the enemy team out in the open at distance. So I've got lots of time to get shots in. I can move about. Got all the freedom. I don't want to really be fighting them in a brawl. That's what I don't want to be happening. And this VK100p is still there. I wasn't expecting him to still be there. I thought he would have carried on pushing round. And I don't want that fight. I don't want that engagement anyway, because I don't know where the freedom is. I'm a 2-shot to the VK. The VK is a 2-shot to me, but I just don't like that engagement. So I'm hoping to sort of pull him back, and in the hope that he chases me, and then I can use these bushes, and thinking I probably won't get lit as he approaches because I'm shooting for about 2 bushes here, and get a few shots in. So you see I'm waiting. Obviously the VK is quite slow, but at the same time I'm a little bit nervous that I have been lit. And is the freedom coming towards me? I don't want to then get caught in an angle where I've got the VK one side, freedom the other side, and then I'm gonna die. So I'm gonna again just give it up and move, and that's exactly what would have happened because that freedom was making his way to me, and I would have been in the sandwich, which I didn't want to do. So now I'm trying to get out of there, and that freedom unfortunately got 1 shot into me, which is not great. I'd rather not taking that shot, but I couldn't stay where I was. So I'm thinking now I'll try and get to where these bushes is and hope again that the freedom pushes towards me, and then I can get shots into the freedom as he approaches. That's what I want to do. I want to bait them out and get the shots in. But at the same time I'm aware that the clock is ticking. So this is where the freedom is. Annoying I got lit. I didn't want to get lit there. I wanted to let him push out in the open. Because I got lit, they are now being very cagey. I wanted to try and draw them right out and then get the shots in. So I'm trying to play a bit peekaboo, but now I'm kind of thinking, if I don't kill one tank here, I'm going to lose, because they've got 2, I've got 1. The game's going to be a loss. So I can't just sit there and hope that freedom's going to keep poking out and let me shoot him. I've got to try and do something to get the kill. So I'm just going to leave the position and just hope we can come behind the freedom, catch him off guard, get a couple of shots in, maybe eat one in return, but take him out. That's the plan. I need to get this to a 1 versus 1, because then at least that way, if it ends a 1v1, we've got a chance of winning. We can't win when it's a 2 versus 1. But unfortunately for me, the VK was making his approach. He got his shot in. I need to hit this shot because he can't shoot me at the moment. But I probably haven't got time to outload his reload. So the only thing I'm going to have to do now is try and juke him. I need to try and make him miss his shot. I do juke him, he misses his shot. So I've got this kill now, as long as I just take my time, aim the shot, and we get that kill. Unfortunately, the freedom gets one into me, put me on a 1 shot. So we've just got to get out of there now, because if the freedom pushes me, the freedom's killed me. The only hope I've got is getting some distance again. But we only have a minute left on the clock, and that is a problem, to be honest with you, because I need to get, I think, at least 2 shots, maybe 3 shots in it to kill this freedom at the moment. Otherwise, we're just going to have to chance it and see what happens at the end. But I'm on 20 hit points. I can't win that brawl. Taking that shot off of the VK hurt. So I'm just going to hope that he pushes and I get a shot into him, because I've worked hard to get it to this point. And yeah, I don't want to just throw the game away. I want to at least let it go down to the dice and see what happens, worst case scenario. But yeah, because I'm just going to have to wait. We've got 8 seconds on the clock. I'm clearly not going to be able to kill him now. It's not going to happen. So the best thing I can do is wait and see if we can get any sort of extra damage in. Unfortunately, we don't manage it, which is a real shame. I would have liked to have killed all the tanks there, because we worked quite hard to get to where he was. We was in a losing position. But at least we get a draw out of it. We get a draw from which was almost a certain loss. And we do have a good game. We get the Radleys. We get 8 kills, 5,300 damage. High caliber. Obviously we get the Top Gun Devastator and the Radleys. And yeah, I think that sort of shows what this tank can do. I know if I keep playing this tank, I'm going to get some filthy replays in it, because it's very much a tank I enjoy. It's that sort of tank I really, really like. But anyway, it's a 15-minute battle, which you don't get a lot these days, so I hope you enjoyed it. One other thing, just to quickly mention, you make a lot of silver in this tank. I made 300,000 silver there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and happy tanking.
Enemy in sight! Hadouken!